What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the NBA Slate Starter Podcast. I'm Eric, joined with my buddy Ryan as we break down Friday's 9-game NBA DFS slate on DraftKings, FanDuel, and Yahoo. That was really efficient. That was very, very succinct. Up to the air, and we're down. That's kind of like my lineups. Up in the air. Things are great. First quarter of the Spurs game, then it's down. I don't really know what to say. Devin Vassell sucks. Lonnie Walker and Drew Eubanks, if you tried to take those shots, that didn't go well. But Trey Jones, Thaddeus Young had 100% of both. Maybe that can work out. Hopefully I have a couple of these stray lineups that can find their way to the top, but probably not enough Vooch, who went completely nuts in this overtime game. I definitely did not need overtime in that one. Ryan, how's your night going?
Yeah, just too much Devin Vassell to do anything of note of significance today. Yeah, Trey Jones and Thad Young, everyone got there. But Vassell and Keldon Johnson, Derek White, obviously they got clapped pretty good by the Heat, so we didn't get the full run. I still think the process was there. The results, hopefully, unfortunately, weren't. It's going to be tough to recover from a performance like that when there's guys like Vooch, and you needed Vooch. I think you need Bey and Siakam. If you have those three guys and Trey Jones and Thad Young, you're printing money tonight, I think.
Welcome to the Upside Down, where Eric ended up on a bunch of Buddy Hield to try to salvage his night. 4,700 over on the FD, 52 or 51 on DK. God, I'm a sicko. I don't even recognize myself anymore. But if you've listened to this podcast for long enough, you know that I'm a disgusting human being who goes back on his word now when it comes to Buddy Hield, because I hate this guy. Hate him, but I think he could get hot. We'll see what happens here in this late night hammer. But once again, no De'Aaron Fox. Once again, you're going to have a spot where a lot of Clipper value. We'll see how it all pans out. But anything else you want to talk about for tonight's slate that you and I think both just want to get over with and move on to Friday night?
Yeah, I think we can move on to tomorrow's slate. I have nothing else to touch on tonight's slate.
What a great idea that is. Just cleanse ourselves from this sin that we're living in. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. That way you can know when all the content here is Awesemo is going live. So if you're watching us on YouTube, do us that great favor. And if you're listening to us on Spotify, if you're listening to us on the Apple Podcast Network, is that the way it's addressed? I don't think it is. Just if you're listening to us on Apple, on that little purple podcast button, make sure that you guys leave us a 5-star review, because we have great stuff like, I don't know, a $10 tournament in our namesake. Single entry $10 Yahoo tournament tomorrow in the name of the Awesemo Slate Starter. That's us, by the way. Pretty cool. Thank you to Yahoo. Low rake. We asked for low rake. We asked for single entry. We asked for something that's more than $1 where it's going to pay out $1. That's a $10 single entry. Ryan, are you excited to play that tomorrow?
This is the first I'm hearing of it. I'm pumped. That's amazing. Is this in the main lobby, or is this a private
Main lobby. If you go to Friday night's contest, and again, we're going to be posting links, so we'll take care of it for you. It's the NBA 5K. Wow. Awesemo Slate Starter exclusive single entry
and
tournament.
We're giving away subscriptions as well. There's a 3-month, 2-month sub, 1-month sub. So if you come in the first 5 places, not only can you win $1,000 if you come first, $750 to second, third gets $500, but you get 3, 2, 1 months of Awesemo Plus month subs. I'm super excited. I can't even speak.
Last time we won a free roll, I won it. So you know what? I'm going to win it again. I'm going to get those 3 free months, guys. Let's get to it. 9 months. Somebody come after me. Come after the crown here. I think I went second and first in the 2 free rolls we've had. I'm a sick person, except for I only won $1 for the other one because it was like $100 to first, the way that the payout structure worked. But this is way better. This is a real big boy tournament, big girl tournament too. No discrimination here. Absolutely love my women. But Ryan, let's get to it. You ready to get going? My interesting, enjoyable, just lovely human being. By the way, Duke loves his jersey.
That's right.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, Instagram.com. Head to such a place. Check out the app. Ryan got my dog Duke a Duke jersey. He's the sweetest thing of all time. And I'm not talking about my dog. Let's go to the guard spot. Luka Doncic is 11-9 up top there. We got James Harden 11-4 on the road here in Utah. That means that Kyrie Irving's going to be playing basketball. He's 10-3. Trae Young on this back-to-back was really high on him. I thought I'm just fine with the play. He ended up getting there at the end of the third, beginning fourth, and could have really put up a number there. Chris Paul and him went back and forth. Atlanta won a close one up against Phoenix, and that is a great spot. But now they head to Toronto. Not fun to probably travel to Canada overnight. I'm going to be factoring that in a little bit more with COVID protocols going up north. They don't travel like normal civilians like you or me, Ryan. Maybe not you. You're fancy. But I'm looking at Trae Young 9,900, maybe not as excited about rostering him as much as what I did the other day. But the guy I've got my eye on, all-star snub to this point, LaMelo Ball, 9,600. Huge price tag against Cleveland, but no Darius Garland there. Who's going to contain LaMelo Ball? Because I think the answer is nobody tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a psychological play there. Definitely got he was snubbed for sure. I definitely thought he was snubbed. I thought he would definitely have a way to make it, but everyone was well deserving on that East team outside of Chris Middleton. He definitely played well when there was no Giannis. So it's tough to see who deserved it and who didn't deserve it type of situation. I think they did a nice job here. Maybe LaMelo Ball gets in as a reserve. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, looking at the price tags over here at the guard spot, it's tough not to like that narrative, but there's James Harden at 11-4 after he burned everyone. At a Utah team, DeJounte Murray takes on Houston if he goes. I prefer DeJounte Murray quite a bit. It makes a lot of sense to take your chances there. No issues if you want to pay up for Van Vliet at 8,600 in an Atlanta spot. I think that makes a lot of sense to go to. We got where Donovan Mitchell might return tomorrow. He is $8,400 against Brooklyn. I think with him coming back from a concussion, I believe, he should be good to go. And hopefully he was allowed to be conditioning and working out. Maybe I don't know what the concussion protocols are in the NBA off the top of my head, but he's somebody you can take your target on. But looking at the bottom end of things, in terms of value, I think Jalen Green has fallen low enough at $4,300 to take your chances on. And Brendan Goodwin, if he continues to start, $4,100, you can definitely sprinkle him in. He played well in terms of point per dollar value last time out. No issues going to Brandon Goodwin. And also Eric Gordon, I like going to him in a San Antonio matchup at $4,300.
Yeah, the Detroit team put out a weird starting lineup in the absence of Cade Cunningham here. No Josh Jackson as well. I expect that they're probably both going to be out here in this spot. Again, I don't want to just bring up too much here, but Diallo, Frank Jackson, both could end up starting instead. Killian Hayes wasn't starting. It was Corey Joseph, and Magruder ended up starting today, which is just a weird thing to see happen. But just want to at least throw out there might be some value in that early window. As a result of that, maybe Jeremy Grant sits on a back-to-back. My guess is he probably does. I don't know why. I mean, maybe they want to show him off even a little bit more, but he just got back, and now you're just going to be playing him on back-to-backs immediately after not playing basketball for legitimately, and I do mean legitimately, 2 months. So I don't think you're probably going to see him out there. There could be some crazy Detroit value. This is just, me, Nostra Lindquist, coming at you, giving you guys the information. Because, God, I had it all queued up today with Thaddeus Young. And I'm just going to tilt my face off because I thought he was the best tournament play on the slate before he was announced starting. And obviously, after he was, 60% of the field decided to join me. But let's move on to FanDuel, shall we?
Let's do it.
Luka, 11-4 up top there. James Harden, 10-5 shooting guard, small forward eligibility. DeJounte Murray, if he's back 10-5 there. Kyrie, 9,500, getting a little bit of a discount compared to what he had been there. I believe he was up to close to 10K, or maybe that was just FanDuel, or on DraftKings. But either way, I think against Utah, not the same Utah defensively without Rudy Gobert, who's already been ruled out. LaMelo Ball, even better to get to at 9K there. Trae Young, 8,800. Probably got to like that. He's dropped even a little bit further in price for absolutely no reason whatsoever. Fred VanVleet, 8,400 cheap. Donovan Mitchell, 8,300 cheap. So many places to go. So many guys to roster. Where are we going here on FanDuel.com?
Yeah, looking up to spend up, Luka's great at 11-4. We know the raw point upside is there, but if you want to save value, if DeJounte Murray goes against Houston, it makes a lot of sense to do that. He was also a snub, in my opinion. I know the team's not been winning as much, but he's been playing amazing basketball on his own. Van Vliet and LaMelo Ball in the next tier. Priced around with Trae Young and Donovan Mitchell. I like going to Van Vliet out of the bunch just because of the minutes he gets in the Nick Nurse rotation. Now, Donovan Mitchell, 8,300. Seems like a solid option himself as well. Targeting that Houston San Antonio game, Kevin Porter Jr. Makes a lot of sense at 6,700. Don't mind saving $100 of him and going to Anthony Simons. Some value guys here. Derek White is pretty good with or without Murray. Without Murray, he's excellent at 6,600. And Jalen Green, again, 4,600 stands out to me in terms of spend on value. No issues going to him. And another guy in the mid tier, Jalen Brunson deserves a shout out. $5,800. Has been playing well when there's no Porzingis.
No doubt about it. Yeah, Porzingis, Jalen Brunson, you can go that direction. Once again, I was just catching up on some late slate stuff. Eric Bledsoe leading the slate with 15 fantasy points. Because why wouldn't he? God, what a dumb world we live in. Let's go to the guard spot on Yahoo, our sponsor, where I want to talk about Luka Doncic, $53. Pretty expensive relative. James Harden's 49 there. Trae Young's 42. LaMelo's 40. Donovan Mitchell's 37. But once again, like this is just one of those spots where kind of the mid-range, just enticing if Derek White can be a thing again here, going up against Houston. Two terrible, and I do mean terrible basketball teams. Greg tried to tell me today, and again, I love our partner in crime, Greg Ehrenberg, but one, he didn't know what time the San Antonio game was going to lock at, and two, he thought that the Spurs would be buyers at the trade deadline, which is maybe the silliest thing I've ever heard in my entire life, but I digress. Again, second straight day, Derek White. If there's no DeJounte Murray, we fire it up. And if he's there, you play DeJounte Murray, $47. Talk to me about Yahoo guard spot.
Yeah, looking at the Yahoo guard spot, things are definitely going to open up. And there's some guys that you should consider playing in that $10 contest tomorrow. Just looking to spend up. I have no issues going up to Murray if he plays $47. Harden sub 50 looks great. His teammate, Kyrie Irving, only $36. Seems like a fantastic play at that price tag. Tough for me to avoid that situation. Now, if you want to spend down a little bit more, guys like Brandon Goodwin all the way is only $10. I think he'll be popular as well. Seems like a fine spend down option. Some of the guard, if there's no DeJounte Murray, Lonnie Walker will be a flyer, but don't get too carried away by it. Jalen Green, only $16. Man, it seems like Jalen Green's being a theme of the show so far. Kind of weird of how that's never really happened this season, but I think he should be able to turn things around slowly, hopefully. But Derek White also $25 here. No issues falling on him. I've been chasing CJ McCollum forever, and I'll do it one time again.
Jalen Green ends up in one winning lineup, and Ryan is going gaga for the guy who I've never been wronger. He is terrible at basketball, Ryan.
He has not been good, but there's a price tag to every player in this game, so his price is falling pretty low.
Also, watching him shoot a jumper is straight out ugly. He looks like ass shooting the basketball. Have you watched him?
Yeah, I've watched him.
It's a weird release on it. Not that this is anything to do with DFS.
He started off the season great, though.
It's not aesthetically pleasing. But even that shot that he hit in the grill of LeBron and whatever else, he just has like a weird shooting motion. It's not, Sean Marion weird, but it's like it just doesn't, whatever else. I don't know. It's kind of the way I feel about DraftKings and FanDuel when you compare them to Yahoo. Far more aesthetically pleasing, where you can get one free month of Awesemo Plus simply by depositing $10, playing in any paid contest. Yes, and then you'll get one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. It is simple as that. It is easy as that. Every single sport behind the paywall, NBA. We've got NFL going for the Pro Bowl. We're going to have Pro Bowl projections. Yes, that's a real thing. We're going to have the Super Bowl projections, of course. NHL will be back here after the All-Star break, starting up again on Monday. We're looking forward to a lot of these major contests in NASCAR, in PGA, in MMA. So many different sports, so little time to be prepared for them. So get prepared by getting this free month through this easy promotion to take advantage of. I can't imagine many of you who routinely listen to us have not taken advantage of this, how great it is. But if you're a first-time listener, first of all, hello, thanks for joining us. But secondly, the best thing you can do is get these tools for just $10 by playing over at Yahoo, a site you should be playing on anyway. So thank you so much to them for their sponsorship. We really love working with them. And, they just gave us a $5K $10 tournament that looks awesome with lots of subs giving away at the top of it. come join us, play in it. The water's warm over there at Yahoo. So thank you so much to them for their sponsorship of the NBA Slate Starter podcast. Boom. That is how you do a read. That one felt good. Sometimes like when you're hosting, it's like, God, I don't know. I don't have it today. Oh, baby, I have it in spades. Maybe not my DFS lineups. And maybe that's what it is. There's a direct correlation between me hosting correctly and coasting well and how my DFS lineups are doing. My DFS lineups are shit. And so therefore my hosting is great.
I completely feel you. My DFS lineups are god awful as well.
We suck. Top end of forward, Jason Tatum 10-6, DeMar DeRozan 9,500. Pascal Siakam coming off of an explosion. Yes, he got there before overtime, so I don't want to say he didn't, but it definitely helped having overtime. Ended up on quite a bit of him with Greg Ehrenberg on the live before lock, so he wasn't completely useless today. Jaylen Brown 9,100, Zach LaVine 8,900. Those guys are just so expensive. Chicago back-to-back. Sounds like Zach LaVine, though, is more than likely going to sit. That was kind of some coach speak I saw on Twitter after that game. So we shall see, but they're facing Indiana, which is up in pace. I believe, what's the quote from Ryan from Days of Yore from yesterday? Everybody gets there against Indiana. Talk to me about the forward position, Ryan.
Yeah, a forward position. No issues if you want to spend up for Tatum, but Siakam continues to play a ton of minutes for this Toronto team. So looking down, everyone eats against Indiana is what I've been saying. DeMar DeRozan.
There it is.
So if no LaVine, DeRozan looks great. But we'll see what ends up happening with the final ruling. And I think spending down here makes a lot of sense yet again. We might get the Thad Young Experience 2.0 season. So he is someone you can take your chances on. Kenrich Williams is someone who closed the game in Oklahoma City. There was an injury to Aaron Wiggins. Jeremiah Robinson Earl has been ruled out. So we might get some Kenrich Williams at 3,900 as a spend down option. Now in the mid tier, we touched on some of these guys. Chetty Osman's too expensive for me. Dorian Finney-Smith, just too inconsistent. I also like going to Darius Bazley, $4,400.
My guy.
The minutes have been pretty solid as well. So some nice spend down options here in the forward spot, but the spend up guys would be probably DeRozan, Siakam, and Tatum. I think there's enough value to get to land on one of those guys, and certainly one of those guys definitely have a great. They all have pretty decent matchups. One of them can definitely come in the optimal winning lineup for sure.
I'll beat my head against the wall and roster Eric Gordon again at 4,300. I hate myself. It doesn't feel good, but he plays 30-plus minutes. He can be a flamethrower from time to time. Maybe with this young regime of Christian Wood, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green, maybe they're just saying, hey, old guy, sit in the corner. We're going to trade you next week or something. I don't know what. I don't know how they're going to move Eric Gordon. Doesn't he have a ridiculous contract?
I think Eric Gordon will get traded this trade deadline.
Yeah, he makes too much sense. It's the same way I felt about Thaddeus Young today, where it's like they're on teams that are going nowhere. I don't see any reason that some of these vets, they wouldn't just trade them for anything. Give me a bag of potato chips. Specifically, what's your favorite kind of potato chip, Ryan?
Potato chip? Oh, that's a loaded question.
I'm a Cooler Ranch guy.
Oh, like Doritos?
No, yeah, that's a potato chip. I mean, it's a chip.
It's not a potato chip.
Okay, fine. Baked Lays are fire.
Yeah, those are pretty good. I usually like there's this Ruffles jalapeno, I think jalapeno ranch. Anthony Davis is on the cover of that bag. It tastes real good. Not gonna lie.
Did you buy it first because Anthony Davis was on the cover? You did, didn't you?
I did. It was during like the early parts of lockdown oh my God, early parts of lockdown 2 years ago. And I was like, yeah, I might as well try this. And definitely put on some COVID weight because of it. It was good. I haven't had it in some time though, but I might need to go back. Maybe not though. But yeah, those are pretty good.
I put on 30 pounds in COVID. It was glorious, but it's just one of those things that happen. Let's move on. Hopefully my wife's not listening. I don't think she's with the puppy. James Harden, 10-5 there. Jason Tatum, 9,800 there at the top end. Pascal Siakam sitting at 9,300. DeMar DeRozan. We've got a number of these options. Tobias Harris, though, kind of sits at this eternal 8K, 8,100 kind of price tag. So 8,100 for him over on FanDuel. A guy I've got my eye on. Our boy, Brandon Ingram. Small forward only, but played 32 minutes. Had a really nice game, and I think for the slate actually worked out okay for me. couple nights ago, and now 7,800. I don't know why the tag didn't move, but I'm pretty happy it didn't. Karis LeVert, oh, this is going to be fun. Indiana, legitimately everybody and their dog. Yes, that was my dog barking too, if you could hear that. We are talking about Miles Turner out, Goga Batadze questionable, Domantas Sabonis out. We're looking at O'Shea Brissett questionable. So many guys. This could be a very shorthanded team. Isaiah Jackson, there's no way Isaiah Jackson can play. Like, I would be shocked after that ankle injury if he could. We are going to be looking at the exact same situation here with a lot of these Pacers. And it's small forward, small forward and a power forward. You've got Chris Duarte at 5K, Karis LeVert shooting guard, small forward 7,600, Justin Holiday 5K, and even Lance Stevenson or Jeremy Lamb. I don't know. The winning lineup had Lance Stevenson in it on FanDuel 2 nights ago. He only played 15 minutes. Maybe that's the most moronic thing of all time, or I don't know. He also could have a time machine. There could be that. But I'm definitely going to roster some Pacers tomorrow. Talk to me about the forward position on FanDuel.
Yeah, spending up for a guy like Harden or Tatum, no issues falling on one of those guys in the small forward spot. In the power forward spot, Siakam's there, $9,300. As is Christian Wood and Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley sticks out to me at $7,300. I like going to that price tag over there. You touched on Tobias Harris. I think he's a fine contrarian option. He'll be very low owned. We might get Jeremy Grant without Cade Cunningham, which is fine to target as well. Now, if you want to spend down a little bit, there's a lot of guys. If we get Gordon Hayward in, I don't mind that at $5,700. That's cheap for Gordon Hayward, but I think going to a Kenrich Williams, Darius Baisley, that's can definitely pan out for you. Other guys who have small forward, power forward eligibility, not much in this spend down option. We saw Robert Covington put on one of the most amazing fantasy point performances in the history of the sport. 41 fantasy points, 0 real life points. Hang that up in the Louvre. That is one of the best fantasy performances you'll ever get. I was amazed to see that. That is, and you know the 40-point upside is there without any real life points from Robert Covington. Great. He deserves an award for that. And I'm just.
Draymond Green has done something similar to that before, where he just had a boatload of blocks and steals and whatever else on FanDuel. I think there was one day, God, we've been doing this a long time, Ryan. I think it was like 3 or 4 years ago. It would have had to have been even longer ago. It was like almost like right after the Cleveland Cavaliers, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, after they ended up breaking up, Kyrie took off. I think it was like right around there. Draymond Green had a game where he had 0 points and had like 40 fantasy points. I think that's the last time I remember something like that happening. Again, I'm just bringing this up in the moment. I might have to go back and look because I think he was the guy that did it. But Robert Covington, unbelievable. Flat out 0 points. Draymond might have even had like 2 real points or something, but I don't think he had a field goal in the game and put up 40 plus. This is other level. Let's talk forward over on our sponsor, Yahoo, where, Robert Covington, you could play him again here. Nasir Little, obviously not there, so you can just roster all those dudes. In OKC, Portland, definitely a nice, he's $20 over on Yahoo. Do not play Robert Covington on Yahoo, but roster Jason Tatum, $41. Pretty much a punt by default position if that's your most expensive guy. DeMar DeRozan's $39, could be without Zach LaVine. I assume he's going to be without Zach LaVine. Miles Bridges, Tobias Harris, your boy Evan Mobley. Nice to see him put up an upside game there, 45.4 over on the old FanDuel.com. They could just go completely nuts here in any spot, especially against Charlotte. This game should move. But what really sticks out to you over on our sponsor, Yahoo?
We're getting that Clay game. I
said, when's the last time we said no Clay, no cash? Because I used to say that all the time. That was fun days.
Long
no Clay, no cash.
Yeah, we're getting that Clay game. We're getting that Clay game today.
By the way, he had this with like 10 minutes left in the second quarter. Like, it was outrageous.
He probably hasn't ended the game again.
Yeah, he's not going to end the game.
No, he hasn't entered the game since he finished.
Oh, got it. He just walked on the floor as you said that, I think. Eric Bledsoe, 23.25. Again, I'm sweating the late slate because I can't even talk about the regular slate. It's so bad. I hate this sport. Go ahead, keep going.
But looking at the port spot, DeRozan with no LaVine, pretty solid, $39. I think he's a great pivot off of Tatum. Now, if you're in the next tier, guys, we get the tier of Evan Mobley and Tobias Harris. I like Mobley than Harris. But we're going to have to spend on in some spots. And I think I've been mentioning Kenrich Williams yet again. He's only $10. Makes a lot of sense to go there. I think going a little bit more expensive. We'll see the situation. Darius Bazley, even 15, not too bad either. Not many great options in the forward spot on Yahoo. It seems like a spot to like take your chances with Mobley, DeRozan, and try to figure out the rest elsewhere. Just because of pricing is pretty efficient at our sponsor Yahoo.
Love it. I love Yahoo. I mean, this is just great pricing. As I said, $41 is your most expensive guy there at the position, and you still have to make some really uncomfortable decisions. Lugensdort, $21. Shout out him. High upside option, put up 43 plus in 2 of his last 3. Pretty good if there's going to be no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And hey, that's what it's going to be. So we are definitely going to be looking at rostering him. Let's round this out, shall we?
Let's do it.
To the center spot on DraftKings.com. We've got on the top end Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. Remind me if this sounds familiar, but it's a Jokic or Embiid slate now. They are $100 away from each other, maybe mercifully, but whatever else. I'm going to just roster a bunch more Jokic. I'm very, very curious where ownership is going to land on those two at $100 difference. I got to assume Jokic might be twice as popular. Maybe that's just the reason to fire up Embiid, but 1.85 DraftKings points per minute on Jokic. I don't know how you get away from it. Embiid, Dallas matchup, he should just murder, but he murders every matchup lately too. Play a lot of both, I would say, maybe on DraftKings where you can play too. Vooch, 9,400 coming off of an eruption game in Toronto in a losing effort. Pascal Siakam, 9,200. Christian Wood, 8,700 against the Spurs. They're pretty, that front court is very, very lackluster there in San Antonio. You could have Thad Young starting at the 5 again, for God's sakes. Valanciunas is pretty priced up there. But there are so many pieces of news we are waiting on here. And specifically, we know Indiana could be super shorthanded once again here. Are you, Ryan, going back to your boy, Terry Taylor, tomorrow at 4,200?
Terry Taylor. I think
he's your boy.
He's not my boy. I played him a little bit, but I didn't win enough with him. So, you know what? I think I might have to. I think the price tag is still a little too low for the upside. It's a pretty monster fantasy player. But spending up for Jokic, gotta love it. Spending for Embiid, gotta love it. Really, really hard to get both of them in there. I have no issues if you land on one or the other. I think I do prefer Jokic, but obviously we know the upsides now has been very similar among those two guys. Now, if you want to spend down a little bit, obviously Terry Taylor is the next guy you look at. Vooch had a great game today. If there is no Levine, even better spot in Indiana, so can definitely go to him. I think upside with Evan Mobley makes a lot of sense there as well. Yeah, Terry Taylor is definitely in play. There's not many guys cheaper than him. We saw the Nick Claxton eruption game. I want to shy away from there, but yeah, Terry Taylor is in play if there's no Isaiah Jackson.
Udoka Azubuike. You could be looking at Utah. I don't know what's going to happen here with Utah, but that is definitely like on the higher end of minutes that I was expecting for this guy. Going up against Brooklyn, we're looking at, he played 22 minutes. That is the most, I just didn't even remotely think he could play that many. And they didn't even have Jokic in that spot. He played pretty serviceably. I think they might give him a little bit more run. It's very thin. Center, you don't exactly want to be going towards some of these bottom end guys unless you know they can just go out and play 24, 26 minutes and absolutely smash in that time because the opportunity cost is so high. But I don't see anything else that I like down here. So I at least wanted to throw it out there. Drew Eubanks, if he starts, I suppose you could go there. The dude played 5 minutes tonight. So don't get your hopes up. I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's head on over to FanDuel here and round this out. We've got Jokic 11-2, Embiid 11K. Once again, dealer's choice, figure it out, but play a lot of both if you're playing multiple lineups. No doubt about it. Vooch 8,700 just proved why he was so popular today, and now sub 9K with possibility of no Levine against Indiana. And I don't know, maybe the tallest dude out there being 6'5", 6'6". So that could be fun for Vooch. That's for sure. Christian Wood, 8,500. Who's your favorite here at center? Because my guy, is Yusuf Nurkic, 7,600, going up against no semblance of a front court.
I think that's a pretty solid favorite to have on this type of slate. Spending up for Jokic and Embiid, I think they're like $1,500 too cheap on the FanDuel positions. When you get only one, it seems so nice to just get those points and lock it up there. So tough for me to spend up for one of those two guys. But if you want to spend down, you said it. There is a guy in Nurkic that looks great. Evan Mobley looks fantastic as well. And we got to keep an eye on the Indiana situation. A lot of moving parts there. I believe Goga even practiced now that I look into it. So I don't know if Goga practiced, but keep an eye on the Goga situation. So that might ruin the Terry Taylor that we talked on earlier. So Goga's in. I think Goga would start, but the minutes might be up in the air based on how well Terry Taylor has played in those limited minutes he's gotten. But Nurkic looks outstanding also, along with Evan Mobley.
Do you think of 4,900? I should have brought him up over on DK. 4,900 there, 5,600 Nick Claxton. Do you think he's popular coming off of the best game of his career?
I think so. I think just these power forward center eligibility. Claxton coming in at that price tag. Yeah, I think he'll have some ownership, even at $5,600. I would try to shy away just because repeat game minutes are kind of can go all over the place. There's a Blake Griffin also there, so not that interested at an expensive Nick Claxton.
Well, yeah, and I expect James Harden to not be a piece of shit going forward because he's been a piece of shit last couple of games. That's for sure. My FanDuel exposure does not appreciate him. 10-5. If they could just not make him so cheap, I wouldn't have to click that name, but there we go. Guys, let's round this out. Our sponsor, Yahoo, and Nicholas Claxton's $20. I have no desire to play him there. We got Vooch 57, Embiid 53 on the top end here. Vooch is all the way down to 36, Nurk 32. Number of guys that we can kind of punt within this mid-range at the bottom end of the range here. But looking at Kevin Love, Clint Capella, Kevin Love, just kind of an anomaly where he doesn't ever play that many minutes, but I don't know if you saw the other night, Ryan, he closed against Houston. Now, if Kevin Love is going to start getting mixed in as a guy that they're going to close games with, and he's going to close against Charlotte, and he's played 33 and 29 minutes his last two games, I think he might be one of my favorite plays on Yahoo at $21. Are you with me?
Yeah, I'm completely with you. I was there last game as well. I think going back to Kevin Love makes a ton of sense. These centers up top are very expensive, but if we get Dino Levine, Vooch is in a great spot. Him and Nurkic are fantastic as well. Yahoo has done not pricing mistakes. Some of these guys are priced very favorably for their respective price tags. So I have no issues there. Let's take your chances on guys like that. Guy we didn't get to touch on and who we got to start last time for Jeremiah Robinson Earl was Mamadi Diakite of Oklahoma City. So Diakite might be a spend down option in other positions. He is, I believe, the min here. The minutes are always a little bit uncertain. GPPs only for a guy like Mamadi Diakite, I think is how you say his last name.
It is. Yeah, I saw him play at the Final Four in Minneapolis. He played for Virginia. And let me just tell you, if you're Kyle Guy, if you're Diakite, if you're, God, who was the other guy that was the massive?
Ty Jerome.
Yeah, Ty Jerome. Send it in, Jerome, literally, because it was Jerome. I was at both of those, like, third, fourth row, Minneapolis. It was incredible. But if you're a Virginia fan, you should thank God every single day that the worst officiating crew on planet Earth was there for those games. Because let me tell you, they had no business winning against Michigan State. I believe it was the first game. I can't remember who it was. I know Michigan State was in that Final Four, but I don't know if they played them specifically. But then the next game against Texas Tech and DeAndre Hunter, I mean, you had no business winning that one either. Guys, that's the NBA Slate Starter for the entire week. What a fantastic week it was, not for my bankroll, but definitely in terms of enjoyment, interaction with all of you guys, leaving all your comments, leaving all your reviews. We appreciate you guys so much. And now we have this Yahoo 5K free roll. Please go sign up for that. Make us look cool. We'll be posting that in the thread of this link. We're going to be posting it on our Twitters. So go follow me at Eric Lindquist. Go follow Ryan at Rinpack. Just one of the top 15 players on planet Earth now. But Ryan, as we head into the weekend, any final words for the people?
No, thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you guys take advantage of that Slate Starter contest on Yahoo, and 5 stars would be great.
He's Ryan. He's the man. I'm Eric. I'm just a broken man who's going to go watch Netflix because I have nothing to sweat. We'll see you guys. See you guys next week.